Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome back to the channel. Today's project is we're trying to troubleshoot the fuel leak we have with the John Deere 4700. I got the tank out. Boy, that took me a long time to get the tank out, but it's finally out. So now we need to figure out if the tank leaks or not, which it may actually not be leaking. So we may have a different problem, but it's going to rule it out, the process of elimination. So we're going to put some hoses on this tank, and then we're going to determine whether or not it's leaking by filling it with water. I know, water in a fuel tank, but don't worry about that. We'll get it out. So, all right, let's get these hoses hooked up and see what happens. We're gonna put some fuel lines on this tank right now, on these two spouts right here. I got some 1/2-inch heater hose that fits perfectly. Boy, I don't like the fact that these things are plastic and have threads in them. Those threads, I don't know if somebody had this tank out once before or something, but they are all boogered up. But all right, let's get some hoses hooked up to this thing and see what happens. All right, so like I said, we got some 1/2-inch heater hose. 1/2-inch heater hose. It just happens to fit over these spouts on the bottom of the tank. And gosh, I'll tell you, they don't really look that good. These things are all got plastic threads in there. I mean, this may not be the best idea, but I don't really want to keep screwing those other original things in there and booger up those threads any more than I have to. So I'm going to see if this works from a you know, just keep the fuel in it perspective. I mean, it should, right? I mean, it's not like it's whatever. Just tighten that up. Put this on here like so. Bought a pack of Harbor Freight hose clamps yesterday. I don't like the fact that this hose is going to be kinked, but what are you going to do? It's just the way it worked out. I guess we made this too tight, so let's let's loosen this up a little bit until we can spin this around in the proper direction, like so. I mean, yes, it's going to be kinked, I realize that, but sorry about that, my work table just collapsed. Let's try that again. You guys still with me? All right. We just lost all our hose clamps all over the ground over here, but that's a different problem. All right, so let's get this hose as happy as we can make it. Put this clamp. Boy, they don't give you a lot of clearance here. I mean, I don't know what these engineers are thinking when they make these things, but they do not make this process of removal and troubleshooting of any of their products simple. Now, is that on there enough? Probably. So let's tighten this up. Tighten the other one up if we can get in there, which tilts that around a little bit. I mean, plastic tanks are better than steel tanks because we all know they rust, right? But I don't know about this one. So it holds like 13.5 gallons, I think. I discovered the fuel leak when I walked in the barn and was wondering why there was a puddle underneath the tractor and the smell of diesel everywhere. So, and I started this project last fall and finally got it out this past weekend, and now we're just trying to see if it is in fact the fuel tank that leaks or if it's something else. So we're gonna get some water, I'm gonna fill this thing up, and how tight these have to be, right? Probably tight enough. All right, let me go get some water. Stay here. All right, so this is the last one. So I guess there's two ways we can look at this. We may have determined that the fuel tank doesn't in fact leak. So I guess that means I saved $1,000 in a new tank, but it also means that the mystery remains as to what could be causing this fuel leak. So we're gonna let this sit clearly and see what happens to it. but it does not seem to be leaking. It's not leaking down there. My theory was there was a crack underneath here because the fuel is leaking all over the top of the engine block. But it is not leaking out of here. So clearly it has something to do with the injector lines that go into the above the manifold or something. I don't really know. So, all right, well, if you have any suggestions or tips on what this could be, but we're gonna have to take a look at the top of the motor. What I don't understand is it leaks when the tractor is off. Like if you fill it up with a full tank of fuel, which you wouldn't do now because it leaks. But if you did do that, it just leaks all over the place above like 1.5 gallons or something like that. So my theory was there was a crack in the tank, you know, on top of the manifold because it leaks equally out of both sides. But that's not the case. There is no crack in the tank. So what we're trying to do now is figure out, I guess I'm gonna have to hook up a jury-rig a fuel system on the tractor. But I mean, it's not pressurized all the time. So how in the world is the fuel being pushed through the fuel system, through the filter, into the injection pump, from the injection pump into the fuel lines on top of the motor? How is that happening if the tractor isn't running? I don't get it. But apparently that's what's happening. So I guess a mouse may have chewed some of those injector lines that are on top of the motor. I don't know. That's where we're gonna have to go next, is go inspect the top of the motor. So thanks for watching, and please, any advice if you have this problem, let me know what to do, because this is all new for me. Taking this tank out, getting it back in this tractor is not going to be a fun time. I'm not looking forward to it, but hey, I'm not going to stress about it. If it gets done properly, it gets done. But I had to take the brakes apart, the clutch levers, all the pedals had to come off. There's all kinds of stuff in there. I got to do a video. I did videos of it, haven't posted it yet because it's going to be a long video. And so we're still in troubleshooting mode, but thanks for watching. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Not sure what that noise was. All right, thanks for watching. All right, so today we're going to empty this 15-gallon fuel tank out, and from the 4700. It's been full for 3 days. Nothing's leaked out of it, so clearly the tank is fine. If you don't have one of these fluid transfer pumps for a drill, you should pick one up, because what we're going to do is we're going to get the fluid water out of the fuel tank, pump it into these buckets, and then we're going to dump it into the fire pit that we burn stuff in case there's any residual fuel in there. So let me get set up here. Hang on. So what you do is you get your drill, you put it on here like so. To figure which way to turn this chuck would be nice. Stick that in there like so. Tighten her down. All right, let's see if we got this thing going in the correct direction here. We are pumping. It's also why you never get rid of your old washing machine hoses. You never know when they're going to come in handy. I have all kinds of screwdrivers, but the only ones I can ever find are these free ones I got from Harbor Freight. I don't know why that is, but these are the only ones I can ever find. I need a screwdriver. Oh, yeah. I have to go into a bucket. Oh, we got a problem here. All right, so we're going to call that fuel tank leak test complete. Don't think the tank leaked. It was filled up for 3 days with, you know, full 15 gallons of water. Nothing leaked out, so the fuel system has a leak somewhere else. So we're gonna have to figure that out at a later date. I think the plan is gonna be to get like a gallon jug, put a fuel line on it with the shut off somehow, make sure it doesn't leak, and just do a gravity feed on that system and just see where the fuel starts pouring out. Fill it up with like half gallon of diesel and see if it drains out. So any suggestions on how to troubleshoot a fuel leak?